The US is not invincible. No matter how they will boast of their warships and what they have, they are not invincible. They can still be knocked out. Do you know why? Because Russia versus Ukraine war that has prevailed for 4 years. Listen, Russia has great warships, powerful warships, and many of their warships have been sunk. Ukraine scattered their warships and sank them. And so when you hear of US boasting of Abraham Lincoln warship and what have you, and all those warships they are mentioning, they are just talking. Those warships can be knocked off. And they have to be careful not to act like the Titanic ship, because those warships can be knocked off. And if those warships are knocked off this year, if Abraham Lincoln should sink and the other one should sink, US will start running away. And when that happens, I wish you hear me on chapter 2, what I will tell you. If US should suffer some fatal blows and this war should turn, know that there will be no superpower called America in the world anymore. Now, Enyasia, there will be a huge persecution that will come all over the world, because that one is going to ignite all the Islamic world, and they will wake up and say their God has prevailed over Christians. Every nation, they will take up weapons. They would like to cause chaos. And Christians will come under heavy persecution. In fact, Christians will come under persecution we have never seen before. As I'm speaking right now, those jihadists are already in Ghana. They have positioned themselves everywhere. All they want to do now is to see that the battle has turned. If the battle should turn, we may have to start going into serious fasting and prayer. Should the battle turn and US is knocked off? Because why am I saying that? They can be knocked off. I said they are not invincible. They can be knocked off. It happened at Vietnam. History have proven it. They are not invincible, no matter how they're talking. So we have to pray that this battle should not turn. Because if it should, we are in trouble. The Eastern Bloc of the nations of the world will quickly take over. And then that is where the New World Order will be established. And when the New World Order takes effect, Christianity will be pushed off track. And Nigeria will turn upside down because the jihadists will take over. Their only little fear is US. If US should suffer a deadly blow and something should happen, they will take over Nigeria and many bad things will start happening all across West Africa. Ghana will not be exempted. The spillover will enter into this nation. And remember, some few years ago, so Mami saw something and said it. We have forgotten. But to remind you, she said something around the time that Atta Mills died not too long ago. We were in an all night, and the woman of God said she saw a tree. When she saw the tree, this tree, people were under the tree, or as the tree stood and was providing shadow, she saw people with weapons coming from, and she said she heard the language they were speaking is more like people coming from Nigeria. And they were holding weapons coming to that tree, and they were coming to cut down the tree. The Lord told her that tree symbolizes Ghana. And as people were coming to cut the tree, she saw a figure of the late President Atta Mills praying and crying and stopping them that they should not cut down this tree. And yet the people were coming to cut the tree. That tree, I repeat, stands for the nation Ghana. She spoke of this some few years ago. Now we are getting closer to the whole thing. I pray that God will intervene for us. Why am I telling you this? So that in your privacy, pray for the US. Pray for Israel. Do you know the third chapter of what will unfold? If US is knocked off and they can no longer fight, do you know what is going to happen? Two major things will happen after that. One, China will jump on Taiwan. And when China jumps on Taiwan, US will be helpless to help them. And China is saying when they jump on Taiwan, they will finish Taiwan in 3 days. In 3 days, they will conquer Taiwan. That means that thousands are going to die. And when that happens, and U.S. is now on the defensive, no longer on the offensive, the nations will gather because the spirit of the Antichrist will take over the rest of the nations, and they will gather and they will surround Israel. That is where we are going to see Armageddon come to pass. Because for Israel, United States is their only cover. And when they knock out United States and they push them in the corner, Israel will be exposed. And when they are exposed, that is where all the nations will reveal their true color. They say that now, you people are the main problem in the world. Let's take you off. The world will be turned upside down. Some people will be here to see these things come to pass. And your eyes will not like what you are going to see. 31st night, the woman of God told us, saw a lot of dead people, mass burials everywhere. This is not to scare people, but to wake Christians up to prayer.